So hello everybody. As we live in the technology era 4.0, there are more and more convenient ways for people to store their data. Some people still keep storing their data through the desktop storage or the file on laptop or computer. But now they are using cloud storage or personal hybrid cloud storage or cold storage to store their data. And people now can share and upload their photo with other people through small device, or they can share through the website. So today, me, Linh, and my teammate Linh Huynh are going to present our topic, cloud storage, and how the cloud storage work. So let's move to the outline of our presentation. So the presentation will divide into 5 parts that are what is cloud storage, how the cloud storage work, and type of cloud storage, and cloud service provider, and example. Okay, so let's move on. What is the cloud storage? First of all, I will talk about the cloud storage. So the cloud storage is the cloud computing model that allow the user to save the data and files in an offsite location that you can access through the private network connection and the public internet. And in addition, the cloud storage also deliver a cost-effective and scalable alternative to storing files on a premise hard drive and storage network. So let's move to the first advantage of the cloud storage. The first advantage of the cloud storage is the offsite management. That means the cloud provider assumes responsibility for maintaining and protecting the stored data. And the second advantage is the quick implementation, which means that using a cloud service accelerates the process of setting up and adding to the storage capabilities. And so the third advantage is the cost effective. It means that the user can pay the capacity they use. And the fourth advantage is the scalability. It means that with the cloud storage, you can scale up as much as how much as you need. And for the last advantage is the business continuity, which means that the storing data offsite support business continuity in the event that maybe a natural disaster or terrorist attack can cut access to your premise. So let's move on to the disadvantage of the cloud storage. It means some concern that the user needs to pay attention. So first of all, the first concern is the security concerns. It means that are common with the cloud-based service, and most cloud storage providers offer baseline security measurement that include access control, user authentication, and data encryption. So for the solution for this concern, the company and the user can minimize the risk by using the private connection. So for the next concern is the administrative control. It means that the concern with the people can view your data, access to data, and move it to the data with the cloud result. So the solution for that is the offloading maintenance and management to a third party offer advantage, but also limit your control over your data. And the next concern is latency. Latencies mean like the delay in the data transmission to and from the cloud can occur as the result of traffic congestion. So for the solution for that concern, the company and the user can minimize the risk by increasing connection bandwidth. The bandwidth mean is used to refer to the maximum capacity of the network. And the last concern is the regulatory compliance. It means like in a certain industry such as healthcare and finance, there are some strict data privacy. So this may prevent the company from the cloud storage can access to that data to get the certain file like medical or investment record. So for the solution, choosing a cloud storage provider that support compliance with the industry regulation impact your business. So, and then my teammate Linh Huynh will continue on how the storage work.
Hi everyone, I will continue with our presentation with the next part. How does cloud storage work? So like on-premise storage networks, cloud storage uses servers to save data. However, the data is sent to servers at an offsite location. So you connect to the storage cloud either through the internet or private connection using web portal, website, or mobile app. And the server will connect your data to a pool of servers located in one or more data centers, depending on the size of cloud provider's operation. So as part of the service, the providers will store the same data on multiple machines for redundancy. It means that if a server is taken down for maintenance or suffers an outage, you can still access your data. So what is a data center? A data center is a physical facilities that organizations use to house their critical applications and data. Let's take an example of some major IT companies such as Google, Amazon, Microsoft. They have massive data centers across locations to provide online cloud storage services for users around the world. For example, the Google Cloud, they have 24 regions, 33 zones, and available in more than 200 countries and territories. As you can see here, the Google Cloud have the data center in Oregon, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Los Angeles. So for example, your data is stored in Los Angeles and there's a shutdown or there's a power outage in Los Angeles, you can also access your data because your data is also safe in the Las Vegas data center. So next, let's discuss about how many types of cloud storage. So as classified by deployment model, we have public storage, private, and hybrid. For the public storage, it is made available to the public over the internet, and it is owned by a cloud provider such as Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure. In private cloud storage, it is similar to the cloud model, but they reside within your network and using your physical server to create instances of virtual servers to increase capacity. So you can choose either to take full control of the cloud, or you have like a third party to handle that for you, and you can access the cloud with a private connection. So the private cloud storage is preferred by organizations such as banks or retail companies because they need to store and process data privately. The hybrid cloud storage is the combination between private and public clouds. For example, some federal agencies, they only want to disperse the general information to the public so they can use the public storage. But if they need to store information that is sensitive, such as social security number or tax identification, they need to store them in a private cloud storage. We can also categorize cloud storage by service model. So in here we have infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. For infrastructure as a service, if you want a virtual machine and you have all of the expertise in your company to install the software for you, you can choose the infrastructure as a service. And some popular provider, Amazon Web Services or Azure or Google Compute Engine. For platform as a service, it will provide you with a platform or the interface for your program or the interface to upload your program, and you just want to run your program in that cloud. So we should use the platform as a service. Amazon Web Services, Elastic, Beanstalk, or Microsoft Azure are the common player in this model. The third model is software as a service. So if you just want a finished product hosted in the cloud and you can access it anywhere, and you don't want to install any software or do anything with your resources, you can use the software as a service. So as you can see in the table here, the on-premises is the one that we have to manage the most, while the software as a service will leave you with nothing to manage. Next part, let's talk about some cloud providers. We have Amazon Web Services, which is really popular among the cloud computing services. It is provided by Amazon, and it has a lot of structures such as infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. And now we have the Microsoft Azure. Microsoft Azure is a cloud computing service provided by Microsoft, and it is specialized for programmer to build, test, deploying, or manage your applications and service. It supports many programming languages, tools, and frameworks. The Google Cloud Platform is the cloud services provided by Google, and it will let you build, deploy, scale applications, websites, and services on the same infrastructure with Google. Some other provider is IBM Cloud, Salesforce, and Workday. So Workday is really popular among the vendor that specialize in human capital management, and the Salesforce is popular for customer relationship management as well as enterprise resource planning. Let's take an example of one cloud provider, Amazon Web Services. The Amazon Web Services is a global cloud platform that allows you to host and manage services on the internet. It is used by around 80% of Fortune 500 companies, which is really popular, right? And it offers many services on different models, and it also offers many storage options. Some example of its services are financial services, database, and management service. These are some of the example of its product. So we have a business example in here. If a customer have business case of I want to store and launch my application on cloud. We can offer the customer with Amazon EC2 and Amazon S3. Amazon EC2 is an elastic compute cloud. It's a web service that can provide you with a secure and resettable compute capacity in the cloud. And EC2 can also be used to launch as many virtual servers as we need. The S3 is a single storage service. It stores and retrieves any amount of data at any time on the web. Here is a video for a demo of those two products.
All right, so the very first thing is to have an AWS account. So create an AWS account. And second thing is to create an AWS S3 bucket and upload the files there. You know, the files that EC2 server is going to pull from will get stored in S3 as first thing. All right, so the first thing is to create an S3 bucket. So let's create an S3 bucket and let's call it as website bucket. And these names will have to be unique. So let's see if this bucket name is available. It says bucket name already taken or already exist. So let me top it up with SL, meaning simply learn. All right, so we were able to create a bucket, and in that bucket, let me upload a content. That basically is going to be my index file that's going to go and sit in my web server. So let me also make it public and view it. All right, so this is the content that I have stored in my S3, and this is the content I'm going to push to my EC2 server. All right, second step, create an AWS S3 bucket and upload files. We're done with that. Third is to create an EC2 instance. That's, in other words, create an virtual machine in the cloud. Let's go and create it. All right, the third thing is to create an EC2 instance. So let's create an EC2 instance. It's plain and it's very simple. I'm going to keep everything as defaults here. All right, so I've launched an EC2 instance. As you see, it's running. I also have an IP address, public IP address here. With that, I have logged into this EC2 instance and I'm in the folder /var/www/html. And as you see, there is nothing in there at the moment. And this server also has Apache installed in it. As you can see, I browsed to the IP address of the EC2 instance and it's showing a page, which is the default Apache page. All right. If I had any files in this folder, that would get shown as the web page instead of the default page. Our task is to save files in S3 and move them to the EC2 instance. So S3 is going to act as a storage or a repository or a source code control in this example. All right. So let's do that. All right, the third step is to create your EC2 instance, and that's what we have done. And the EC2 instance has no files in it. And the fourth step is to synchronize the source code bucket with the EC2 instance. Let's do that. The actual command to do that would be AWS S3 sync, and then the name of the bucket from which we're going to pull the code and the folder in which we're going to put the code or the data. All right, so it has downloaded something. Look at that. And now if we go back to the test page and do a refresh, there you go. It's showing the page that it pulled from S3. So here I can use S3 as the source code control bucket, and any information that I put in there will get reflected in EC2 instance once I do a sync every day. And that's how I use S3 as my storage for EC2. All right, finally, we were able to synchronize S3 bucket and the EC2 instance. And we were also able to view the results in the web browser of the.
All right. That's a really cool example of how to use the Amazon Web Services. So that is the end of our presentation today. Thank you for listening.